So you want to start investing in the stock market, but you don't know where to start, or maybe you think you can't afford it because of maybe low income or you have a tight budget, or maybe you find it all a little bit too overwhelming, which are all valid concerns. But if your main reason for not investing is because you think you can't afford it, then this video is just for you. Today I'm going to show you what I call the poor man's portfolio, a portfolio where I took from $0 to now over 20% returns in less than 1 year in the stock market, which I might add is double the market average of around 8 to 10%. Now that is spicy. Hello again everyone, my name is Devon and welcome back to the channel where we talk all things investing with a little bit of variety. Variety is the spice of life, and as I like to say, a variety of stocks in your portfolio makes you sleep a tad better at night. Kinda just made that up, but let's roll with it. Now let's get you started on your investment journey. By now you should know a little bit about investing, but if not, there are tons and tons of resources out there where you can learn all about investing, and especially here on YouTube. So providing that you've download a brokerage app, for instance something like Robinhood in the US, and from my UK and Canadian peeps, we can use Wealthsimple Trade. Links in the description below if you'd like to earn 3 free stocks for funding your account with Wealthsimple. So the account I'm going to show you guys today is my personal Wealthsimple Trade account, the poor man's portfolio, remember? So now with your app downloaded and you signed up, funding your account should take a few easy steps. And now you're ready to start trading. So now you should be thinking, what should my first stock be? This is something, again, you may have to research. Depending on your investment thesis, you could be investing for a number of different reasons. So based on what you want, you should pick a stock. You know, it could be something that you'd like to hold for the foreseeable future, or something that you'd like to hold just for now. But what I can say is investing for the long haul is always the best strategy. So it's something that you may want to buy and hold. Once you've got that out of the way, you know exactly what you want to invest into. You know exactly why you want to invest in this company or this ETF or whatever you may want to choose. Then you're ready to make your first purchase. So let's talk money. One of the most feared conversations of our era. See, it doesn't matter if you can't start with thousands of dollars in the beginning of your investment journey. That does not matter at all. In fact, the portfolio that I'm going to show you right now simulates a person who's investing from the very beginning with very little income. So the best thing you can do for yourself is start right now. Remember, Albert Einstein himself once coined compound interest the world's 8th wonder, meaning that time investing in the stock market is your friend because you have compound interest to rely on. So with that in mind and money in your account, let's talk about how you're going to spend that hard-earned dollar, shall we? How are you going to spend that wisely? Remember, the stock market isn't something that you should willy-nilly throw money at. Stocks should be well researched, and again, like I said, this should be something that you want to look into based on your investment style, because investing is not for everybody. But you're here because you've done a little bit of research and you want to get in the game, skin in the game, as they say. Okay, so let's see what's the best strategy for you to spend that dollar. Because remember, you can start with as little as $1, and this is a fantastic thing about these apps. In the 21st century, they've eliminated completely the need for you to pay exuberant fees when it comes to investing with, let's say for instance, a bank. So you'd probably want to make small purchases as you go along on your journey. And the brilliant thing about, let's say, Wealthsimple Trade or Robinhood is that they offer fractional shares, meaning that you can purchase a small piece of the company for as little as $1. So the need for you to purchase an entire share in Apple or Tesla, for instance, is now a thing of the past. Investing now has been made easy and everyone can access it. Okay, so I think this is why you're here. So let's get right into the poor man's portfolio and show you exactly how, if I was starting all over again with that just $1, where I would put it and how I would do it. So here we are in the poor man's portfolio. As you can see, the amount in there is just over $1,300. So far, the account is up all time just over 24%. And in this account, I'm going to show you exactly what I would do if I was starting over investing in the stock market with as little as $1. So the amount deposited so far on this account is just over $1,000 with a total return of just over 300 bucks. And this is the Canadian side of the account, and there is a US side of the account as well, which is the US stock holdings. And I did a breakdown of this account in my last video, so if you'd like to check that out, links in the description or in the card above. So if I was to start all over again and I was somebody who had very small income with a tight budget and I can afford to invest, let's just say around $10 to $20 a month, how would I do it? Where would I start? What stocks would I pick? And how would I start investing? So bearing in mind that you've got your app downloaded, you've funded your account now, and you've got some money in there, and you'd like to pick your first stock. And again, this is something that you'd do some research into and figure out exactly what you want from investing. You want to buy and hold. You want to leave a portfolio of stocks for your children or your grandchildren in the future. This is something that you'd have to do a little bit of thinking on, to say. So if I was to start all over again, would I go into tech stocks, individual stocks, ETFs, growth stocks, dividend stocks? There are multiple choices, but starting with just $1, there's not a lot you can get. And this is where these apps come into play. Companies like Wealthsimple and Robinhood have leveled the playing field when it comes to investing for us retail investors. You can now buy a fraction of a share in a company, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did in this portfolio. So the stock in question is Apple. As we can all agree, Apple is a fantastic company based on the fundamentals. I think we will all agree that Apple is in a league of its own and it's not going anywhere soon. And it also pays a dividend, which is also fantastic. And you can see in this account, not so long ago, I didn't have any Apple shares at all, but I managed to pick some up last December of 2021, December 27th to be exact. And my first purchase was only $12, $12.30 Canadian. This was back before Wealthsimple Trade had the US side of the accounts. Now they do have the US side of the accounts. I can just purchase in US dollars without having to worry about paying exchange fees. Now you simply just, let me just go back and show you this quickly. Now you can simply convert your Canadian amount to US amounts and purchase in US dollars. This is as simple as converting. Tap on whichever you want to convert and continue, and it asks you how much you want to convert, which would be the amount of $12 there, and it converts the amount, and all you pay is 1.5% exchange fees, and that is it. So you have funded your account, whether it's a US or Canadian account, it doesn't matter. You can buy in either accounts. So for myself, what I did, I purchased some Apple shares not so long ago. And as you can see back then, my first purchase was only $12, which was actually getting into the company, getting my foot in the door, so to speak. And after that, I purchased another small amount for 19, then 11, then 38. And then my final purchase, just to round it off, just to have an entire share of Apple, I purchased $62 worth, and which brought me to 1.26 shares in the company. So far, it has returned $1, and for me, that's not a problem at all, because over the past, we know Apple is dominating. Obviously, there has been a small downturn in stocks over the past couple of months, but we are seeing stocks rallying again. Just over the past week, things have been showing headway of, things coming back to bullish territory, so to speak. Okay, so If I was to start over again, would I purchase shares in Apple all over again, or would I pick something else? This again is a question that you may want to ask yourself. But what I do recommend to friends and family members is that if you're going to invest, then you may want to go for something like an ETF, which is an exchange traded fund. They do match the broader stock market, and personally for me, I like Vanguard S&P 500 ETFs. There's one also in Canada and the US. So this is the US, this is the Vanguard US ETF. My holdings in this company currently is just under one share. It's here, 0.1 share, okay, which has returned an amount of just 52 cents, and that's not even for an entire share. So you have the exposure with ETFs of the broader stock market index, as opposed to having to worry about researching and figuring out exactly which tech stocks or growth stocks you'd like to invest into. An ETF covers that for you. Takes away the headache of looking to pick individual stocks. And you can see in this portfolio, I've made 2 purchases of $23 and then $28 not so long ago. Okay, so eventually I'm aiming for an entire share into this ETF, because let's be honest, ETFs, it just works. They're great performers. Over the years, they do tend to match the market average of a return of 8 to 10%. And over the past year, you can see this Vanguard S&P 500 ETF has returned 13%. So if I was to start all over again with just $1 in hand, I'm personally looking to get an ETF or another fantastic company, another fantastic growth company that pays a good dividend. At least you're getting something back from owning a piece of that company. But again, that is just my personal choice. Let me know what you would do. And for those of you who've been investing, let me know, if you were to start all over again with just $1, where would you put it? Have a little dialogue in the comments below. Feel free to share your investment thesis with others who are just starting out, and what sort of stocks you would pick. Would you go for an ETF or a growth company that pays a fantastic dividend? Who knows? Everyone has their own taste and style and goals at the end of the day. And speaking of goals, my goal is for you to take something away from this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've learned something from it. And most importantly, the best thing you can do right now, again, is for you to start. Because you have compound interest to rely on that just cuddles you ever so softly and whispers into your ear, everything's going to be all right. And with that said, thank you very much for watching. Leave me a comment. Let's talk about your different ideas, how you do it, where you would start, how much would you spend on your first stock. And with that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.